May Day celebration is an internationally recognized day set aside to recognize the contribution of workers to the economic growth of any nation. But the recently concluded May Day celebration across the country was marred with protests by workers who feel betrayed by constant government refusal to honor the pledge it made to workers for improvement in their daily take-home pay, and most especially at this period of harsh economic crisis in the country. The motion was sponsored by Honorable Ezenwa Onyewuchi from Imo State under matter of urgent public importance.
The process of reviewing the minimum wage is commenced in line with the current reality today. Mr. Speaker, the last time it was reviewed was in 2011, moved up to 18,000 as we have it today. But Mr. Speaker, you will realize and you will agree with me that today the take home of workers cannot take them home anymore. So there is need for this to be adjusted.
While calling on the amicable resolution of the rift between the workers and the government, lawmakers expressed worries at the refusal of some state governments to pay the agreed minimum wage, as they believe that the proposed 56,000 naira is inadequate to meet the present economic reality in the country.
We always have these issues of not scoring high when it comes to ease of doing business, and some of these challenges come from the civil service. For us not to have a motivated workforce means that we'll continue to have challenges for those who want to invest and do business in Nigeria. And there's urgent need for us to have a very well-motivated workforce that will be able to do their job and push and move the economy forward.
Some of the industry that employs in thousands, for whatever reasons, have closed down in the recent past. The government should make a conscious effort to reopen these industries and provide more jobs for Nigerian workers.
As long as we refuse to pay workers, it's going to affect the generality of the public. Because some of these workers, they have dependents, and without missing word, Nigerians are suffering because of poverty, because of lack, and this is the time to stand up for our people.
Lawmakers are of the view that legislative solutions should be used to tackle the situation, as they call on the federal government to activate the Minimum Wage Act. The motion was, however, referred to the Committee on Labor, Employment and Productivity to liaise with the organized labor for further legislative input. In a related development, the House of Representatives have dropped the motion to compel oil companies to establish operational and administrative offices in their host communities and states, as against the current practice of siting it in cities outside where oil is explored. The motion, which was sponsored by Honorable Opiagula from Imo State, was supposed to give host communities the advantage of benefiting from development associated with the presence of oil companies' activities in areas like good roads and other infrastructural gains.
It is about the only evidence that Shell or any oil company for that matter ever had anything to do with Imo. If you go from left, right, and center, if you go from the width to the length of the entire Imo, you can never find any office of any oil company that is producing in Imo.
Some lawmakers supporting the motion saying it will compel the oil companies to fly back to the host communities, having caused major damages to the ecosystem of areas where exploratory activities may have destroyed, as it will boost the economy through welfare and employment of the indigents.
I believe the Local Content Act clearly takes care of this, and the amendment I'd like to make, Mr. Speaker, is the Committee on Local Content, I think, should be the main committee in charge of this.
We know that it's the state government that have done this road. If they had gotten their administrative headquarters in Akwa Ibom, the youth of the state would have gone to them to tell them their problem. But before they would go to where the administrative headquarters is, it will be too far and nobody to listen to them.
But lawmakers cited insecurity in the region and the fact that it is not compulsory to site administrative offices in all areas where exploration activities are taking place, since all exploration sites normally have cooperative offices in communities where exploration activities are taking place.
I think it is dangerous for us as a country. Policies are very important, Mr. Speaker. Policies of a country, particularly when it affects economy and foreign investment, is very important. When these companies came in, we did not tell them this is what you have to do. You cannot now begin to move or shift the goalpost in the middle of the game, particularly where it will affect their personal, their lives and their operations.
Though there was a spirited fight by proponents of the motion in the House.
Where an office is located, probably outside these zones. Take an example in Lagos. They have the liberty of flying continuously. You will have to appreciate the fact that we are stakeholders in the oil industry as a nation. And where you have to look at cost oil, these oil companies will deduct every expenses incurred first. Before now, we have to start looking at our returns.
The motion was thereafter thrown out through a voice vote by members. Emmanuel Ehijine, PTV News.